To show you how beautiful it is, first of all, this is, Doug, is this the size they're gonna receive? Yeah, so this is the size you will get, all right? It's already established, ready to go, all right? After not very much time, it will turn into this. And I don't know if you can see what's going on down below, but the root system down below holds a ton of water. It's a desert rose, so it's almost like a cactus will hold water in its root. See how big they are? It's such a cool part of the plant. And I will tell you this too. Last year, we had a windstorm here in Florida, and my desert rose was like this big. I had arms on it like this. It fell over, and about 4 of the arms broke off. I was amazed. It just came back. It's better than it's ever been. In fact, I think we have a picture of mine, Andre and Rebecca, maybe somewhere, my desert rose. So this is mine, and I am telling you, it's my pride. All right, it's behind the graphic, but we'll move the graphic so you can see it. There we go. It is my, and I put like little shells in there and little fun. It is my favorite plant on my patio, all right? Love my gardenia, love my hibiscus, but this one is the most unique. It's the one that's got the most dramatic display, and everybody falls in love with it. It's also one of those ones that the bigger the pot, the bigger it will get, which I love too, but this has been my favorite since I first got it. Rochelle, and I know you love it too.
I know. You know what I found so amazing before, you know, the times when we didn't get to come down into the studio, I was down in St. Pete, where you guys are. And you know where the art museum is? On the water side, they have some of these growing in the ground.
Wow.
They are huge trees and they're the same thing. So if you live in an area where you can plant these in the ground, which is basically to say you're a tropical zone where you don't get any frost, otherwise consider this to be a house plant. You can plant these in the ground. They will live a very, very long time, and they will get very, very big, and they will maintain what you get in the pot, which is that kind of like Jurassic plant meets bonsai sort of look, which is so unique, so eye-catching. I mean, it's definitely a conversation piece. This is one you want to have, kind of maybe in the middle of your, patio table or something. Because look at that. I mean, it is.
See, yeah, that's what
these are
happens.
things
Look at it.
They're so exotic and interesting, and they have such character and uniqueness, each one, because the roots as well as the flowers are equally interesting. I mean, that's not a thing you see on plants very often, where you're just as fascinated with the root structure as the flowers up above.
It's almost like a mangrove. Like when you see mangroves, how those weird roots grow. It's like, I guess, the reason it's a desert rose is because, it's a type of desert plant. But anyway, it will find the water wherever it needs to get it. I water this plant less than any of my other plants. It just doesn't take up a lot of water when I pour it in. So I'm like,
no, it doesn't.
Yeah.
This is definitely a plant for somebody who, can be neglectful. If you have that tendency, it's okay. There are plants for you too. This is one of them. You really want to get the desert rose, because all of what you're seeing there, all those crazy roots, those are just holding on to the water and, storing it. So these are used to being in areas where water isn't terribly, easily had, or very infrequent. So, that's a nice plant that's adapted for that. And if you're that kind of gardener or need a little practice being a more attentive gardener, this is a great plant for you. You're going to have success, even if you, forget something and forget to, water it. It also, by the way, loves the heat and loves the sun. It is like a cactus, as you said, Guy. It very, very tolerant. And the thing is too, and when we talk about like new gardeners and people who are maybe nervous around plants and nervous that they're going to kill something, we tend to send them to things like cactus and whatever. And so everybody has all these cactus. Everybody has sort of the same thing. This is like, you get to have something really unique and really wow. And, even if you have a very serious gardener in your life, they're going to walk into your house and think you're like this hot stuff gardener because you have such a unique, cool plant. And you didn't, you're still, still learning and figuring it out. But this plant is doing all the hard work for you.
I tell you, it was hard to kill. I dumped it off about an 8-foot deck, landed outside. It was laying there for like 6 hours before I even knew, because it was a windstorm. And I'm like, oh no, my favorite plant. I scooped it up, put it back in the pot, put it back, and within 3 months, it was fine. It was like, it just took its time to come back.
Perfect.
And all the arms grew back, which like 3 of them broke off. The arms actually came out of another area and they grew back, which was really amazing too. I think what I love about it though most is the contrast between the flowers and the leaves. It is, Obviously, I like the root system. I think that's really neat. But it's a really deep, dark green. And then the two-tone flowers, they're almost like three-tone. They're pink, red, and white. They are so beautiful when they come out. And let me ask you this, because I don't know. Could this also be an indoor plant, Rochelle?
Yes, that's where I came her. This is just like all the other stuff. I consider this a house plant, except in the summer, I move it outside. It's so happy. I'm up here in Boston, where it would not be frost tolerant at all. So you cannot grow this outside year round in a cold climate or where, you have a frost. So that's a big chunk of the country, the vast majority, except for, where you are in Florida, southern Texas, and California kind of thing. But yeah, bring it in. It's like a bonsai, basically. That's kind of the size of mine, and it sits very happily in a sunny window, and it does like the sun. I will say that this is one that you want to keep in a bright spot inside. Okay. And yeah, off you go. It's going to be very happy. Same thing, easy to grow inside.
All right, and remember, you will get the leaf and petal brochure to go with it. It'll be delivered based on your growing zone, easy, nothing. I mean, this is really one of the most forgiving plants you will buy. So if you do not have a green thumb, this is a good one for you. All right, I'm gonna step over and we're gonna talk about daylilies. We've been selling these ever since we mentioned them in the beginning of our show. People are going nuts for it. Why? First of all, daylilies are beautiful. Daylilies are just